Alright, now that I've unmuted my microphone, welcome back to another episode of NOVAtazz Automotive Podcast, episode 18? 18. Episode 18, Season 3. I don't know why I said that, thought that said 16. But anywho, welcome everybody that's here, that's already joined. Sorry for not being here last week. It was Mother's Day, and I was enjoying the evening with my kid's mom, my better half, Jess, and I figured that was worth not having the live stream last week. Sorry for everybody that joined early and wasn't there. Hopefully we'll have a few of our friends join us this week. Plan on being here for about an hour unless a bunch of us show up and we have an awesome discussion going on. But if you're out there in the chat and whatever, write a comment, say hi. Love to hear from you guys. This week was my birthday, so I'm having a birthday drink. And we spent the week down in Wildwood. So we also did a little bit of house hunting over the weekend when we came back. So hopefully put in another offer in for a home and we'll see where that goes. So what are you guys doing on out there in YouTube land? Like I said, I apologize if you missed last week. I wasn't here. What's up, Pilot? Definitely. Like Pilot was here last week, and I wasn't. So glad to see you here, Pilot. Thank you for making it in this week. Sorry about last week. Mother's Day was a little bit more important, and it ran later than I was expecting it to, and I wasn't cutting that short or whatever to be doing a live. Hey, Robert's Garage. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Also, I'm going to remind all of you guys that are here to join me and Roy Marco's Customs. I think it's Roy Marco's. Is it Custom? No, Roy Marco's Garage, not Customs. On Stuff with Cletus on his channel. I will be joining him live on the 19th. 7 p.m. his time, I do believe, which I do believe is 8 p.m. here, if I'm not mistaken. So I hope to see you guys there as well. Sorry, I'm reading comments. I know you did, Pilot, and I apologize for not changing the time of the live stream before it started. Hey, Chris. You popping up here on StreamYard, Chris, or is the link not working? Hopefully Miss Formy's joining here shortly. Because we all know I'm not that entertaining up here. I know, I'm cutting myself short. But yeah. There he be, there he be. It will be a Chris.
Yo, everybody.
You got to turn down the live stream there, buddy.
I just had to get everything loaded and situated here.
Situated.
Temporarily delayed. I had to walk into the...
You guys are giving me a heart attack every week, man. I never know who's showing up and who's not.
Well, you know, I'm normally going to be here if I'm running.
Well, yeah, but I never know when you're running, especially with your new schedule. I'll never know.
Yeah, temporary delay. I'd have been here in the pre-show already, but the lovely badge toters back here at the ground pressure station wanted to look at my face and smell my barbecue bean after effects when I walked out. So they could look at my permit book because they're too dumb to read the temporary paper over there on the windshield, which was staring them in the face that it's a brand new truck.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
No masks at the NASCAR race in Dover today. Pennsylvania does not have to wear masks as long as you're vaccinated. So that would be probably why they weren't wearing any masks today. So, unfortunately, I will still be wearing a mask because I didn't get vaccinated. So you can shoot me, whatever. But I still wear my mask. I will comply with that part for as long as I have to. I don't feel the need at the moment. By all means, if you feel the need to go get vaccinated, please go do so. I am not telling people not to get vaccinated. So, it's just my personal choice. What's up, Chris?
Not enough research on the after effects.
Exactly.
And side effects of any
I'm
of
not
them.
willing. I'm not feeling like being a guinea pig.
Exactly.
So, like I said, it's not that I don't believe in vaccinations. I normally get the flu vax, and I've got all my other vaccines that I'm supposed to have. Just this one's too new. I mean, they're already finding issues with one of them was temporarily not being dispensed for a while. It was the Johnson & Johnson's one.
Yeah, both of them actually had issues.
Yeah. So
like I said, I mean, I've been ever since this crap started. I've been in basically every major hot spot they had when it broke loose.
Oh, you know what? And I'm an idiot. Pilot just
knock on wood.
Yeah.
Not any issues yet. And I've been in part of our job, we're required to be tested, about every 3 months to make sure that we are negative, which is kind of a pain in the ass. But
we just got tested right before we went to Wildwood. But Pilot just pointed something out that my foggy brain wasn't even thinking about it because I just think Dover is a close track, so I wasn't even thinking about it. Dover's not in PA. Dover's in Delaware. I live like freaking 4 hours from the track, and I should have known that.
We loaded, we faltered, we muted,
What, you?
I'm not sure. All your audio just disappeared for...
I don't know.
I don't know if my service... Yeah, I don't know if my service faded out there. I didn't see nothing move in the bars, but you know how that goes too.
His ex needed a December shot. That's hilarious. I miss Forming. But no, Pilot just pointed out something very blatant. Dover's not in PA. It's Pocono that's in PA. But both of those tracks are like basically in my backyard. Pocono's definitely very much in my backyard right about now. But even Dover's only like 4 hours away, so it's a morning drive.
It's a darn they don't have the track in Nazareth still. That was a nice facility.
Yeah, my mom went to that when it was open, when they had the truck races there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
actually I run a late model racer one time with my car.
I think that's what they did most of the time was late models, wasn't it? The truck series was a newer venue.
For well, like on a weekly type thing, they would have them in there, kind of like what I can't remember the name of that track that Nick goes up there and shoots pictures and video at. Valley. Yeah, I mean, kind of like them.
Yeah,
but a little more money involved, bigger series because of the.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bigger facility, actually NASCAR sanctioned, so you had to have a NASCAR license to even put the car in the pits to be able to run it. But
yeah,
which I mean, there's some dirt tracks that are that way around the country.
That's part of what killed a lot of these tracks is the NASCAR BS. Because it is it's just like at the NHR
rules, protocols, a license.
The drag strips that run the NHRA stuff, it's the same thing.
I mean, in the beginning, it was a good idea because the big name sanctioning party logo brought more contingency programs and award money to participants.
Until
but then it went to everybody's head. Yeah, then it went to everybody's head, and like any and I don't care what sporting venue you look at. Big money, advertising money, big money has spoiled most major sports, no matter what they are in this country. I don't care whether you look at anything in auto sports of any type of racing type thing or any of the stick
It
and
doesn't matter
ball
what it
or
is.
anything involving ball. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The big money has ruined it and took it away from the original.
What made
Uh,
the sport the sport? I mean, and even NASCAR is the
yeah,
same way. You look at what NASCAR is today
yeah.
compared to what it used to be, and now it's all about the drivers that you don't even get the best drivers in the field anymore because it's now what driver can make is the best marketing
Which driver can bring the
for
most money to the car team on his own as a name to say, hey, I can
not
bring
just
all this money
name,
in for
not just
sponsorship.
name,
Put me in
their
your car.
personality, the way they react.
I mean,
You're not going to
you can't even
have
go.
the
There's
Rusty
nothing stock car about stock
Wallaces.
car racing at the NASCAR level. You can't even call the paint because they don't use paint. They wrap the damn things with vinyl.
Well, they've been doing that since the frickin' 90s.
Yeah, so it's
I'm not even worried about that. It's the thing is you're not going to have the Rusty Wallaces, the Dale
no
Earnhardts, the
Jeff Bodine.
you're not going to
You
have
know,
them because they're not advertiser friendly.
Darrell Waltrip. Anybody that could actually wrench on the car and worked on it themselves and knew how the thing
Well,
operated.
anybody who has a temper and who isn't necessarily politically correct in front of a camera.
Yeah, well, they've got a couple in the Xfinity series. I can't name them to hand here
What now
off
that
the
they
top
have
of my
ones that
head,
can't
but
freaking they can't keep their cool?
yeah, there's a couple that a couple times. One of them has been in more than one fracas, but they have an issue on the track. Well, it's usually on pit lane or in the pit lane. I mean, one of if they don't tackle each other on the track itself at one time, but there've been here a couple times here in the last few weeks where there's been fisticuffs thrown, and they got to mix it up a little bit before they were broken apart. So like, hey, all right, back to the old school way
Yeah,
of doing
how did
things.
that come from? Because I remember, like, what
Settle
was
it.
it last year that one of them got fined and suspended for
Yeah.
saying a word, or whatever or
Yep.
something. It's like
Yep.
just bleep it out and let it go.
And the worst part is the biggest offender, and I can't call it an offender, but the biggest example that they tried to make of
Oh
him
no!
is in the top. But he was on a video game. It was a video game thing. He thought he was private chat with one of his friends in the game where they were doing it against each other, and that's how they talked to each other all the time. But yeah, everybody blew it out of proportion, and the same deal was last year or whatever it was when they went down there to, I think it was Talladega, and they had the rope to pull the garage door closed. Oh my God, it's a Hansman's noose. Well, in the end, it came out with you even had the FBI investigating it, and the damn rope was tied there on that same garage door 2 years prior to that, the
Right.
same way. They had it on pictures, so it was just big media blowing it out of proportion, trying to make
Yeah, I'm not
a mountain out of a
necessarily always
molehill.
politically correct, and we know damn well you ain't, Chris.
Hell no. If I think it, it's coming off my tongue. And if you're too insensitive and insecure about what I
Pretty
say and you're
much.
offended, you know what? Go change your diaper and suck your baby bottle and shut the F up and get
Right?
out of my face. Because I don't. Now, you want to say you're offended and do something about it? Hey, by all means, go ahead. You won't
Yeah.
be the
I mean,
first person that's tried.
I don't go around and intentionally intending to offend people. I'm not. I'm
No.
not.
I mean,
I'm
neither
not a
do I.
racist person. I'm not a. I tend to be
I'm not
conscious of
either.
other people, but at the same time, it's like grow a set. Some tough skin.
Yeah,
I grew
you're
up with
not in
how
school
many.
anymore.
I grew up with how many ginger jokes or four eyes or whatever else you wanna talk about.
Yeah.
Get over it. It's a word. You know,
Yeah, or the one,
or
oh, but your
it's a
mama just
flag
loves you and
or
called you strawberry shortcake when she'd bounce on her knee, wouldn't she? Yeah, it's like, come on, people, you're not in frickin' elementary school anymore. That shit's for the playground. Grow
I
up.
mean that's like people banning like the General Lee and different. It's like that show has been on for how many years. It has nothing to do with it just because there happens to be it's a southern show with a southern with the southern flag on it, and it's not even the southern flag. It's
It's history.
But the thing is, it's not even the Southern flag. The Southern flag was that battle flag on a field of white. That is the Southern flag that should be racist. It says it right in the description of the flag that it's racist. Um, but
Yeah,
not
it's
not
just,
the flag that's on the General Lee. And I'm purposely not saying a certain name just so I don't get my video demonetized because again, insensitive people, or super sensitive people. Anyway, so it's it's just, it is what it is. If you're going to now assume that, just because you see that flag that somebody's racist, that's ridiculous. That's just like, necessarily the swastika. The swastika itself is not a racist symbol. Actually, it was a symbol of peace for how many freaking generations before Hitler. And because one individual used it in a negative way, we're all going to now assume that that's a negative symbol. It's kind of BS, in my opinion. Now, you're using it in a, that's, okay. Take a very simple word. Fat. Fat in itself is not a negative word. It's
all in the way it's used.
It's in the way and the intent in which it is used and how it is received by the person receiving it and how it is given by the person giving it. It's like me. I could say, I'm fat. Well, yeah, I am. I'm over 220 pounds. I am not as thin as I used to be. I have a dad belly. I'm fat.
You want fat in a good way? Okay, fat. Let's see. Let's break it down further. Let's go lard, bear grease, or bacon grease.
There you go.
Dump a crap ton of that in a little fryer and fry some chicken wings, and you won't be bitching about fat.
A little bit of fat.
You'll be bitching about, give me another beer and God,
my point is everybody can be offended by anything. It's how you take it and everything else. Don't let shit get to you. Otherwise, you're always going to be freaking miserable your whole life. But anyhow, change to back to cars. I was watching a few things. My brake stuff came in from my truck. I was away all week and wasn't able to get it on my truck, but I finally got it in after a month of waiting for it. So I'll have the brake lines done on the truck. We'll get that inspected. Once we get that inspected, we can start doing some fun things with it instead of having to fix it. Nope, I lost Chris. Hopefully he'll pop back in. Anywho, there was a couple things I saw in the media as well. I think we talked about it last time. Amelia Earhart running her fastest time in her C8. Also had her twin turbo G body run an incredible pass. That car is nasty. If you haven't seen Amelia, not Earhart.
That's what, at a Buick Regal? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a Buick Regal. I do believe, if you were to believe the backstory on it, it was her grandmother's car. I think it was originally like a blue. It wasn't the black that it's painted now. It was like originally a blue color. But they ran it with just a swapped out LS at first. I think they ran it originally with just a swapped out LS, and then they blew it up, and then they went bigger went home, and then now it's twin turboed. Pretty similar setup to Cletus's car.
Leroy.
Yeah. But that thing's nasty.
Yeah, I think it's one that. I think it's hilarious watching that. And
go ahead.
She got banned from the track because her Corvette was too fast.
Yeah, well, too fast without the proper necessary safety.
Yeah, with the proper safety equipment, but that's just. I mean, it's just speaks volumes of what that car platform.
Well, you're not putting a roll cage in a brand new C8.
But it just speaks volumes of what that platform offers somebody that has a little bit of money to do just a little bit of tuning and tinkering to it.
Not really, because that's not a stock C8 Corvette anymore by any stretch of the means.
No, it's not stock. Like I said,
the block was sent out completely rebuilt. I think it was built by the block was built by Texas Speed. It's not a stock block anymore. I do believe the transmission was sent out as well to be beefed up, and it's on a standalone computer management system, so it's not even the stock computer anymore either. We have Nikolai. By the way, if you have not checked out Nick's track shots, please go do so. He has been putting out some incredible videos, and I can only see him getting better from here the more he learns. I mean, he's starting from the ground up, so any help you guys can give him by views or whatever, go ahead, go check him out. Leave him some comments, what you guys would like to see. any constructive criticism to help him make better videos would probably be very much appreciated. And definitely don't
Yeah,
forget to share his videos.
I can say one.
What's up?
I can say one. Little dude, damn, wear some mechanics gloves if you're going to rip apart busted up stuff. You cut your hand up, you can't push the record button on the camera.
Right? Hey, you live, you learn. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Sorry to see him get hurt. I hope it wasn't too bad. I know that picture he sent with it all bandaged up didn't look pretty.
Yeah. Pilot says he hasn't seen.
Hey, we all been there.
I've seen a few C8s in person so far. I saw well over 10 of them at Corvettes of Carlisle the year that they were released. So
I can see this electrical storm is going to play havoc with our stuff tonight.
All right. Well, hopefully you can pop back in if you pop out. Yeah, I've seen a few C8s. I've seen a few C8s in the wild. I saw a bunch of Corvettes of Carlisle around the time that they were being released.
I got to cry 4 days ago.
Why? What's up?
I got to see a whole parking lot full of them sitting there getting fuel beside me.
Oh, dealership?
Yeah, it's a car hauler had a full load of them on wherever they were going, but it's ironic that they got a big caliper on the rear brake and then they got a little one, which I can only presume is for the parking brake on that.
Yeah, they have a separate parking brake.
But it's really odd to look at. You got this huge caliper and then there's this little dinky puck. Just make you scratch your head. Anybody that's not familiar with them would really be wondering, what in the world is that for?
Oh, what else did I see? Cletus running Tom Bailey's 6-second Camaro funny car. Did you see that?
Did I see the?
In fact,
is that the one where they couldn't get the 6-second car to hook up that good, or is that a different one?
Might have been about the same one. No, it was a different one. I think. Is this the one the chutes didn't open? But it's a burnt orange.
Okay,
car.
I don't.
There's a burnt orange.
I don't think I've seen that
Camaro.
one.
In fact, it's the exact same Camaro that Cletus had in his very first video. Back in 2015, he was just starting out with 1320 video, doing his first on-track media. Like, he was collecting, different media for social media. And they were goofing around, and Tom Bailey's car was sitting out in the parking lot for Rocky Mountain Race Weeks. And they did a little skit using his car, and that's where Cletus McFarland was born, because we know his real name's Garrett. So that's where the character Cletus McFarland was born, was at that Race Weeks back in 2015 with Tom Bailey's car.
Actually run with some of them guys running that.
Yeah.
When they've been in the middle of that, when I've run delivering in Denver or coming out across Nebraska, and when every now and then I've run into a few of them where they've been running on the interstate, doing their track transitions.
Yeah, that's what Cletus does now. He runs Ruby, Leroy. I do believe the El Camino will be out there next year. They ran
that event would be fun to follow, just to watch it. To travel with them and watch it just for the vacation aspect of it.
It's kind of why I want to do the power tour. I want to do the power tour with one of my cars, just to run with all of them would just be freaking awesome.
Okay. Well, would you rather do the power tour or the bandit run? Or it doesn't matter.
It wouldn't matter. I mean, I think the power tour would be, not that I wouldn't want to do the bandit run, but I think the power tour might be more fun because of the different
people
diversity.
Yeah.
I mean, the bandit run, yeah, you're running all trans.
Well, well, I mean, the bandit run doesn't limit you. I mean, you can run what you want with the bandit run if you want to run a segment with them. They don't limit you to just a Firebird or a Trans Am.
Oh,
which the good thing
and different things like that too. So.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing they're actually we're I don't know when it's actually going to roll through past the house this year. Miss Farmer's been talking about it, but I'm part of it. But we actually know The guy that founded that and where his shop's about an hour from our house,
I thought it was down in
and we
Florida.
do a
Wasn't that the
now
that place that
they're
burnt
they're
down that
involved
started
with it,
that?
but they're not the ones that founded it.
Oh, okay.
The guy that founded it is actually Dave Hall.
That
I
name
believe
sounds
is his name.
familiar.
Miss Forman can correct me on that if it's
I think
not
I remember
correct,
that
but
name from
he's the
some
one
of
that
the Facebook
founded the
groups.
original one.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
he has
but then
a
again,
restoration.
I need to have a car that's road legal and able to make that long distance drive too. So, you know, gotta do with what I got.
Yeah.
MS formally agrees with you. She says yes. All right, I got you guys all in here. Let's do our first points run here. Let me refresh this page just to make sure that it's up to date. Add points to all viewers. We'll do 40K. Some of you guys, that won't be very much, but oh well. There you go, 40K for everybody that's chit-chatting in the chit-chat right now. But anywho, yeah, it's right now. I'm focusing on. We're focused on finding a house because I can't really do much until I have somewhere to do work.
Yeah, it's hard without the basic necessities, and the basic necessities for working on anything has got to be power. A
Well, yeah.
generator just doesn't cut it for everything.
Well, it's not just
And
that. I need a
and
place
room
that I can
room
actually
to spread
have.
out, room for a small lift or a good jack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of the places I found, it would be a small lift, like just enough to be able to freaking roll underneath of it.
Oh,
Most of the places I've seen haven't been big enough that I could lift a car enough to stand under it. But then again, supporting the channel, sharing the channel, obviously there's no point in doing it. I mean, it's not that there's no point in sharing the channel now, but I'm not making any content right now, so it doesn't make much sense. That's why I haven't been pushing the channel. It's just live streams just to keep the channel alive. I didn't plan on keeping this channel, just afloat for this long. It was only supposed to be, a couple weeks or whatever, and then it turned into a year, and now it's going on a year and a half. It's not what I was wanting. I mean, obviously I spent how much money buying parts to put onto a TA that's I don't have access to right now. But
no, you do if you drive a little bit. You just ain't got nowhere to work on it.
yeah, but what am I gonna do? Haul down my whole freaking toolbox full of cars and pull out a fuel? You know what I mean? Doesn't make much sense there either. It's a 2 hour plus drive. What, 2.5 hour drive down there from
Yeah,
where I'm
probably
at?
two,
So yeah, it doesn't make
depending
much
which way you
sense.
went down. Yeah, but in the joys and pursuit of our hobbies and happiness, we've done a whole lot that don't make sense.
Yeah, but I've also got to be able to film it too. So you didn't spend all this money not to make YouTube videos while doing it. But yeah, so I mean, in fact, I still have parts I need to get for that. I still need the coil pack for the distributor, and I still need to get whatever fuel line stuff I need to get to, because I have to replace all of the. And I also got a block off plate for the side of the block, but that's only like $20. But yeah, we did end up looking at a house today that was not that far from me that has a 3-bay garage. Did I lose Chris again?
It's a start. Heck, we're fading in and out.
Yeah, you're getting a little freezy a little bit.
Yeah. Now we get a nice thunder and lightning storm over here. No rain yet, but it's
Yeah.
about the only thing missing is the chrome pole out there in the field. It's one of them. There's a lot of flashing going on.
Yeah. I feel bad because Kat was supposed to be here last week. And I had bailed on all of you guys last week because of Mother's Day. And yeah, she's not here this week. So I was like, man, I kind of ruined her chance for being here. I don't know what happened to Cletus, man. I guess he's just really busy with his other stuff he's doing. He's even letting Robert's Garage keep the freaking Stream Boss over here.
That time of year, he's just slamming with everything, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. I can get plenty of guests during the winter, but it gets closer to summer, and finding guests to help with the live stream gets harder and harder. Even Big E's been getting busy. He said he'll be on maybe around 10 if we're on that late, but it's already 9:30. But yeah. Have you seen the update on the Dodge Magnum Hellcat?
No, I did not.
Oh, that thing's looking sweet. He's got it out of paint, and it's mostly put together. As far as like the body wise, because he converted a Dodge Charger into a Dodge Magnum. So he's done it the opposite way. He's taken a older Magnum and grafted a Charger front end on one, and used the interior out of a Charger. This time he started with a Dodge Charger and grafted a Dodge Magnum back half onto it. So he took like the whole chassis is a Charger, but that from the middle of the back door all the way back is the Magnum top and hatch. So it looks really cool.
That's got to be interesting as heck.
And that is who is that? That is give me a second, I'll tell you who it is. That is Junkyard Dave.
By far the worst married combination that I've seen. Some that just made absolutely no sense.
No, this thing's gorgeous. Like I said, it's a Dodge Charger with a Dodge Magnum roofline, and it's got the Trackhawk rear wing. So that rear duckbill that's on the back of the Trackhawk, is on the top of the hatch on the Magnum. So it follows the same lines as the back deck lid of the Charger.
I think the strangest thing I've seen that I can remember in recent memory was somebody took an old Pontiac Grand Am and they grafted the front end from a '78 Trans Am onto it.
What was that again? I missed the beginning of that.
They took an old Pontiac Grand Am front wheel drive from the mid 2000s, and they grafted a '78 Pontiac Trans Am front end on it.
I've seen them graft that on an El Camino,
and it's
I've seen them.
Yeah, it's.
What was it? A Ford truck with a Grand Prix, like an old Ford, like a 40s or maybe even older than that Ford truck in the middle of a Grand Prix. I don't even understand.
Yeah, some things are just there. No amount of snow, dust, or alcohol could possess you.
Or Bondo to massage the panels together.
You've got to be an excellent welder to get it to seam together. Because
yeah. I missed. Apparently, Coastal Auto Reaction had a live earlier. He said he has an announcement. I missed what it was because I was busy doing other things. Wasn't able to pop in on that one. Oh, I lost Chris again. The weirdest one I've seen lately was a Chevy Cobalt with a Cavalier. That is, well, I mean, yes and no, because technically the Cavalier and the Cobalt are technically still the same car. They just updated the name to make it seem more appealing to the newer generation, to make it appear different. It's like the Trailblazer and the Blazer. The Trailblazer is still the Blazer. They just updated the name. The Magnum has not been in production since the last generation of Charger. So when I'm saying that he upgraded it to it, I'm talking like a 2020 2019 Charger with a 2006 or 2008 Magnum. They were totally two different generations of car. So it was the generation before the Dodge Challenger. Let's put it that way. Because the Dodge Challenger was not out yet by the time they got rid of the Magnum. Yeah, I mean, and Nick, it is the same thing as two different generations of vehicles. The 4-door and 2-door Cavalier were both built on the same chassis. In fact, they were the same length of car. I've had the 4-door Cavalier, and I've had it right next down to a 2-door Cavalier. They're the exact same car, pretty much. Same with the 2-door and 4-door Cobalt. They did that a lot with a lot of the same cars. The floor pan is the same. If you go with my Nova as well, the 4-door and 2-door versions of this car, same chassis. The floor pans are exactly the same. It's just everything above the floor pan is different, as far as the body wise. But yeah, it's the totally different styling cues. The Cavalier was I shouldn't say the Cavalier was flat. The older Cavaliers were flat. Honestly, I don't think that would be too bad of a look. They got similar body lines. I mean, the Cobalt really wasn't dramatically different than the Cavalier, in my opinion. Let's see. What is popping up on my thing? Yeah. Alright, actually Cletus's video just popped up. The Garage Talk with Roy Marco and me. For Eastern time, it's 8 p.m. So it's an hour earlier than you would be joining mine, and it is the 19th. See, what else do I have showing up on my recommended videos? That's it? Oh. And I didn't hear that Chris came back, and you probably been sitting there freaking twiddling your thumbs.
Only a little bit. Hey, I gotta hate that. I get a phone call and it just knocks my whole thing out haywire. I gotta go all the way back to the beginning and start over.
I don't always hear the little boop as you pop back in either. Sometimes I don't hear it. See, now that's a big change. Camaro body with a Monte Carlo front clip. Because they don't even share similar body lines at all. I think that's not the. I think that's a little bit different than a Cobalt versus a Cavalier, because yeah, I mean there's somebody. Where did I see somewhere that they stuck a a 3rd gen Camaro front clip on a 3rd gen Firebird. Kept the Firebird, back half, but stuck the front clip off of a Camaro on his Firebird. Which I can't necessarily fault him for, because I love the front nose of a 3rd gen Camaro. But the taillights on a 3rd gen Firebird are freaking sweet looking. I think the 3rd gen taillights on a Firebird look way better than the taillights on a Camaro. Oh, well, they do that crap all the freaking time. You know how many Novas I've seen in dirt track racing with Monte Carlo front ends? I'm sure, Chris, you've seen the same thing. Are you there, Chris?
In and out, in and out. Hey, I got yo-yo service again.
Oh, well, we're talking about how when they do dirt track racing, they don't keep things car oriented. Like when they run the fourth gen X bodies with Monte Carlo front noses, and things like that. They pull all kinds of weird crap like that because they don't really care. They'll grab whatever fiberglass front end they can get a hold of.
Yeah, fiberglass or plastic.
Yeah,
I mean, the biggest thing they got with that is pretty much they got to use a front frame section.
Yeah.
It is, even in the street stock divisions, hardly ever do they make them use a full frame anymore.
Well, like I said, I've seen a lot of I see a lot of fourth gen Novas out there because you can't mistake them for anything else with the way that the B pillar is set up in that rear quarter window. I can spot a fourth gen Nova, a mile away in a junkyard. It's like I will walk on top of cars, looking down the line of cars, looking for that B pillar, that B and C pillar, because I know exactly what a B and C pillar on a fourth gen Nova looks like. And so when you see them on the dirt tracks and they've got a Monte Carlo front nose or a Camaro front nose clip on a fourth gen Nova, it's like, really, you couldn't just go with a Nova front clip, or an Omega or whatever. You had to go with a Monte Carlo.
Yeah,
but then it's like
a lot of it. That's because that's what's available.
Yeah, it's what's being reproduced. If you can't find a plastic front clip for a Nova, well, you're not going to sit there and mold one yourself as a small team.
Yeah, it's like my asphalt late model. It's got a Grand Prix body on it from 5-Star Bodies, but I'm not even sure if I could get panels for it anymore, even from them.
Yeah. I know
it's had like 2000, 2001 front end.
Yeah, we need to work on backlighting your freaking flag behind you.
Yeah, I got to figure something out in this
truck. Put LEDs behind, like those rope LEDs. And I don't know, is that a sleeper or is that a standard?
No, this is all sleeper. I mean, it goes straight up from the driver's seat, clean to the roof, and then all the way to the back, double bunk.
No, well, yeah, just run rope LEDs at the top where you hang your flag, and that should light the flag up.
Well, that's the problem. There's nowhere to hang the flag up like we did in the other truck. Because the other truck, actually, there was a rail that run there to where the cab and the sleeper were separated.
Right.
That you would slide the sleeper curtains on, and I actually used those big metal paper clips.
What about getting one of those?
Paper clip that to that rail. This one has nothing. I mean, it goes straight to the roof.
Yeah, but what about getting one of those spring tensioned curtain rods?
Maybe it would be a matter if there's a place to put it in where it would be secure or not.
Yeah.
And it won't fit in this one. I mean, because it's not wide enough to cover the width of this cab.
Oh,
in this truck.
Flag. We'll just have to get you a NOVAtazz Customs banner.
So that's an idea. But that might be an idea.
I have
talking of collaboration. Do a NOVAtazz and Firebird Nation, combination where we could light them both up.
There you go. I have the NOVAtazz ones on my Teespring. I haven't bought one myself yet, but
yeah, eventually we'll figure something out. Because I mean, this actually has an ambient. I don't know what's the button at. It's actually dimmable. It's ambient light and LED, almost like a rope in the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Right there,
yeah,
and then. Now, obviously, I can't drive after dark, but it's not completely dark. But it's actually dimmable, like mood lighting, where you can actually reduce how much light you got with it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if it was red, it wouldn't be an issue. Ugh.
So you got that one, and then you got the regular LED dome light, which is straight above the seats.
Yeah, I don't think you could ride around. I don't think that would be smart enough to ride around in. Coming from the back cab,
no, any of these wouldn't, because they're all. And then the sleeper has domes as well, which is that one.
Right. Like Miss Formie says, like I said, the tension rod or command hooks. I don't know, figure something out. No, I'm
Oh
not used
yeah,
to
I'll get
seeing.
there.
I'm not used to seeing nothing on your screen. But yeah, I don't
Now,
know.
what I might be able to do, I'd have to reposition the phone so it would be directed off of me, which after dark ain't no big deal, anyways.
Yeah, we're not seeing you
But
anyway.
I may be able to do something like you said with the rope light, off from the top bunk, kind of like we did the Christmas New Year's thing where we had
Yeah.
the spinning light and the star and the Christmas lights lit up behind us. I might be able to do something like that with the flag off from the top bunk down and hang it off the top bunk, and then light it up behind that. Just I haven't been home to do nothing. I was 3 weeks out. I think this is the fourth week out. I actually made it home Friday. I routed myself through the house, do laundry, and take a quick break before I headed to my delivery over in Wyoming.
Yeah, we were out all this week. We left Tuesday morning, and we got back last night around 10 for the trip. If you can't tell, I am burnt to a crisp. In fact, I actually have
Well, I
probably
can't with a
sun
little tiny
poisoning or
screen. You're
something
like
right
a
here.
postage stamp.
Huh?
I said I wouldn't be able to here on the phone. You're just a postage stamp.
Right. Well, I actually have like
I mean,
sun poisoning or something over here on the side of my scalp.
most thumbnails on YouTube videos are bigger than what we are here.
All right, we're getting a demand for one of our normal segments. Let me pop this up here first. I still have it as not what's
I'll
not
take.
in the truck.
I can tell you what. You could actually make a trivia question out of this if you want and see how many people could guess it. Because
Well, there's not that many
it
people
is
in here,
not.
so. Huh?
It is not the normal thing that we used to haul,
Well, nothing
and it's
should be
something that
normal
I
as what
have
you used
not
to
hauled
haul.
pretty much. And this is something I haven't hauled in a long, long time. It's still food and it's still refrigerated.
All right, so it's food and it's refrigerated, but not as normal haul.
And it can be smoked, barbecued, roasted.
Well,
I guess you could say fried. I mean, it makes a good fried breakfast item,
I'm
which is
gonna
part
say
of the
it's pork.
name. Oh no!
No, it's not pork.
No oinkers, no oinkers.
Well, I mean that fit every one of your descriptions so far, man. Fried for breakfast.
I know.
You got fried Canadian bacon. You know,
This
you could smoke it.
this one in the breakfast food is actually part of the title of this breakfast item.
Nick, I already guessed pork. It's not pork. I made my guess, so I can't keep guessing. It's not fair. I had to have been close though.
You're close. You just need to think. You need to think bigger.
Well, like I said, I can't make any more guesses. I refuse to take up any more people's chances. While we're waiting for that, I don't know if anybody's seen my my Instagram posts, but Mattel finally came out with a Matchbox car, then the 4th gen Nova. And I actually I have, I think, 9 of these. That one's not in the case anymore, but I do have a crap ton of them still in the boxes. They won't be in the boxes for stupid long. But I have plans of recreating the different looks that my Nova has gone throughout the years. For each one of them.
Oh, hush.
Are you getting yelled at again? Is your truck berating your driving?
Yeah, it's highly aggravating. And I
Pilot
looked
says,
into it, and there's nothing that you can do with it because if you shut that aspect off, it throws the rest of the whole system out of whack.
mm, uh,
And pilots, we already said it's not pork.
yeah, and sausage is mainly is a mixture of pork and beef and
Oh,
what?
oh, something.
Oh, something.
I can't give it away.
Well, I already know. I already figured it out, but I'm not going to say
Oh, I
it.
figured you did. I figured you did.
Nick, it's not eggs. Too
This
small
this
of an
this
animal.
this this can be this can be like an outside barbecue that you can either rotisserie it or bury it in a pit.
See, that's why I still said pig because that's what I
Yeah, because
normally do with pig.
I mean, everything that I mean, it'll everything I said will work for pork and this.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what's so confusing. Though I would
Uh huh.
generally do it with pork more than I would with what this is.
I can say something on that would probably give it away immediately. I don't know how hard we should make this. How long you want to go with it?
I'm going to give one more guess to somebody.
Bam,
Beef is the
done.
final answer. Beef, the only meat. All right. How much?
I
Should
was
I
about
give
to
Nick?
say
How much?
this
How many points should I give
this
Nick?
this this was a very famous TV commercial with a little old grandma.
Where's the beef?
Yep, that would have gave it away.
Yeah. All right.
So I
So
don't know.
how
What do you
much
think
am
we
I
should give
giving?
Nick?
How many points am I giving Nick?
What do you think? He's in every now and then. He's kind of a regular. I mean, what do you want to do? Like 5K, 10K? How generous do you want to be?
That doesn't matter to me. I
Twenty
can't believe
five
he
hundred?
didn't get the points earlier. I went and refreshed it, and it says he only has 250 points. So it's up to you. It's your
Or your
question.
system malfunction? Tell you what, give him 5K.
5,000.
Give him 5K, and maybe you could do a bonus. Which part of that makes the best smoked barbecue? If and he may not know it. I mean, he's kind of young yet, but there's one aspect of that animal that they use all the time doing like smoked barbecue competitions that you see all
Yeah.
the time, and it's not ribs. So we'll get that out of the way right from the get go. All these people that freak out about ribs, I just don't get. They ain't that big a damn deal.
It depends on what part of the rib, what type of ribs.
Yeah, I mean, if they're country style ribs, hey, I'm all for
Oh
that.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of the ones that are just like freaking like a little
Yeah,
tiny meat
baby
and
backs
mostly
and
bone. That's not
strippy.
my thing.
Yeah. Let's say, I mean, I'm not a rib fan.
Okay,
And
so Nick's answer
Ruby
is
Tuesday
brisket.
makes a bingo.
Yep. Which is is that backstrap?
No, the brisket is actually the chest, the front from the
Okay.
bottom of the neck down the chest between the front legs. That's where your brisket comes from.
Because technically, backstrap is my favorite part of deer meat.
Even Miss Formy got it.
Well, Miss Formy already knew because she knew what was in your truck.
Well, yeah, she knew I had beef in the truck, but she knows that barbecue answer because I actually brought some. She got spoiled when I come home because 3 nights in a row I nailed a barbecue place when I was in Texas last weekend because I had to do a reset.
Yeah,
I couldn't
knew you
deliver
were
until
spoiling the
Monday.
crap out of you. You were, my God, I was drooling with your Facebook posts.
Yeah, I went to the races with a buddy of mine down there. I picked up the mirrored T-tops for my 10th anniversary Trans Am that I bought from one of the guys in my group. Posted them for sale, and I didn't even approve the post through. I sent him a message. All right, where are you at and how much? I said, what do you mean? I said, well, this is the admin of the group, and I want to know what you want for these things before I put it up there for everybody to read. And what you're, are you trying to move these immediately? You got time to wait? We ended up taking like 3-4 months. Then he was going to learn. I said, no, dude, yeah, I didn't forget about you. with Christmas and being off and all the other happiness. But I'll tell you what, I got a buddy who lives in Dallas. You guys are within 40 minutes of each other. I'll have him pick them up from you, and I'll just pay him back. So that's what they did. So I was able to pick them up, bring them home. But yeah, like I did barbecue Saturday night at a place right there, maybe a half mile from the track, and then my buddy picked him up. We went to the races that night. We went to a place the next night because I ended up going over by where he lives at because like less than 20 minutes from where I had to deliver. And for Mother's Day, he took his wife out for Mother's Day, and she's like, "Well, you might as well invite Chris along. I mean, he doesn't get to get out of the truck very often. It's not like we're doing anything special. If he wants to go to dinner, we'll just bring him." So we ended up going to a barbecue place they like a lot. Like,
I love
yeah, that
barbecue.
place they were sold out of a bunch. And then the next night, after I delivered, and I had to go to a shop. Well, then I found out the shop didn't have the part, so I went back to another place, and I got it's Texas Best Barbecue is the name of it, and I got the chuck wagon meal. Well, the chuck wagon meal is I can't remember the pounds. It's either somewhere between 3 and 5 pounds of the meat of your choice, and then you get 4 large sides.
Damn.
So I ate, and that's probably the big picture I put up. They had the big containers. I don't remember which picture I put up for sure. I know I put it in the group. I think I did that one in the group.
I know I had
When
a couple
you
good
come back
meals
with
down in Wildwood. I had like an Italian like tour of Italy platter the one night, but the one I had a teriyaki salmon with mango salsa. Oh my god, that was so good.
oh, that sounds good.
But we didn't have a crap ton of money, and Jess really doesn't like fish, so I didn't get to go a bunch of fish places. But no. Speaking of online groups and looking for parts for cars, I had a deal, and you know what? It's been so freaking long. I don't mind shouting it out here now, but there was a guy named Tim Wilson in one of the groups. His better half is named Sandra or whatever. They had a gold '79 anniversary car. Well, just not an anniversary car, but a '79 gold special edition, and it had the original Krager aluminum wraparound rear louvers when they bought it, and he hated them. And he took them off the car, and I knew him back then. In fact, it's the same guy that I have his door panels, his original door panels for that car. But he was supposed to give me the Krager rear louvers, and I hounded him for maybe 6 years, and it was always, yeah, I'll get it, and I don't ever see me getting them. And they're so hard to find now. And normally when you find them, somebody's buying them up faster than you can freaking sneeze. But that's like one of the definitive things that I want for Jean Grey is a set of those Krager, the wraparound ones. Because you can find the ones that are like straight, and then they have like this weird side piece for the side window, the wraparound part. If you know what I mean, Chris. You still there? Grant, Rockford Files
Rockford
wasn't
Files.
a Trans Am. That was a Formula.
That was a 76, wasn't it?
What, Rockford Files?
Yeah, was it a 76 or was it later than that?
I'd have to go look at it. It may have been 2 different years, depending on
Miss
how
Formic
long it
can
ran.
find that one out.
Huh?
Yeah, Miss Formic will find that one out. She's probably got it on record somewhere with all the stuff she has access to.
I know it was a gold Formula. In fact, the guy who runs the second gen graveyard, he's got one that's exactly built like the Rockford car. That's what I figured. Most of those they run a couple different ones, but it definitely was a Formula, not a Trans Am. The difference between a Formula and a Trans Am is the fairing kits. I think the suspension was different in the Trans Am versus the Formula. But the Formula was basically the Trans Am without all of the flashy stuff. And definitely up the shaker. You had some of them had working that was it an e-spirit? I thought it was a formula. Well, if the one to know would be Miss Formy.
I do know one thing.
What?
I am going to look into the possibility, since this is now our hot rod, some sort of a amplifier booster with an external antenna that I could put on this that may help a lot of this yo-yo crap.
Maybe. Miss Formy says it wasn't a formula. She says it was an e-spirit. I'm pretty sure it was a formula.
Yeah.
Well, let's do a quick googly search. Not that I don't believe Miss Formy, but I'm pretty sure it was a formula.
Now, you're right, buddy. Hell, we like rabbit holes. It makes for fun conversation.
Well, exactly.
No matter what the topic is, because it's fun. It's fun doing the investigation where we all can learn about it.
There it is. Jim Rockford's gold Pontiac-fired e-spirit car. A one-off reoccurring element of the show was famous Jim Rockford turnaround, also known as the J-turn or the Moonshiner's turn.
Now, did they run V8s in those, or were they V6s or 4 cylinders only?
In the e-spirits, I think they could run all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1970. It was 1978 Firebird e-spirit. No, I'm getting conflicted stories. Haggerty says it's a 1978. GoldenEagle.com says it was a 1974 Pontiac Firebird e-spirit. Here's a different article talking about the screen used cars. That's definitely a 78. The first Rockford Files Firebird was a 74 gold exterior, tan interior Firebird e-spirit with a 400 cubic inch engine. All the cars used for the show came from Pontiac. While filming the first season, it was decided that due to the hard driving the stunts and needed the Trans Am formula suspension. So near the end of the first season, all the 75 through 78 Firebirds were formulas. Told you they were a formula. The original was a 74 e-spirit. The later ones, 75.
Yeah, the show run for what?
The
7
75
seasons,
to
8
78
seasons?
cars were formulas. Nick, he technically has a motor for that car. He's been sitting on that motor since it came out of the TA. If I'm not mistaken. Isn't that what you originally bought that the olds for?
Oh, yeah, actually, it was going to be in which Asphalt late model, Nick? The Asphalt late model I have that I can race already has an engine in it. It's got a brand new 358 set up with a Holley 4412 and what used to be a 4-speed, but is now a 3-speed. It just needs some final things thrown together to be able to use it. And then the Asphalt street legal, or the old NASCAR Cup car, because originally that's what I thought. I mean, it was going to be a backup motor to my Trans Am.
All right.
I got the idea of the street legal, so I thought, well, hell, I could take that. That'd make a good turkey motor and a 2,000-pound car.
Oh yeah.
To move that thing around with enough tire shredding force and still be fairly economical on gas.
Hey Grant, there's no that is the reason why this group chat is an open discussion. We do not have a set subject. We do not have a set object. We love going down rabbit holes on this live stream. Yeah, the Monkey Mobile was a stretched out 66 GTO.
I agree with you, Nick. I'd love to go up and run that track. It may happen yet. Miss Formie told me.
Yeah,
You want to go racing again? Go racing.
It's more round than it is straight on that track. You spend more time in a corner than you ever do on the straightaway on that track. I know some of them are longer in the straightaway and shorter in the corners, but that one's, you're like, as soon as you come out of the corner, you're setting up for the next corner.
That's classic bull ring.
Yeah.
And I believe, if I remember correctly, Miss Formie actually printed out the late model rules for that track. So the best thing I could do would be to get the car some night, take it up there and have them tech it. And then they could tell me what I need to change or not change. I know it needs new belts in it because the belts are outdated.
If the offer goes through that I put in the other today, I might have a space for you to put that car while you're, for the week or so that it's up here or whatever. I'm not saying I could store it a lot because depending on what cars I have and which ones I have in storage at that time, because the house that we went looking at today was 3 bays.
Yeah, I'm in debate what to do with it right now, whether to race it again, because most of the trucks I used to run in PA, it doesn't even qualify anymore, and I'm not going to sink $5-6 grand or more into a car that is put together now. Now I can take it in its current configuration, and I could go do SCCA events with it.
Yeah.
Road coursing or different other things or timed events. Or I could take it and, add the lights and stuff to it and make street legal out of it.
There you go. Chris or Miss Formie, do you think you can answer that one before I can look it up? How big is the turbo on a 301 car? It's puny. I'm going to tell you that.
A very little one. Yeah, very little one, because it had to fit underneath the hood on top of the engine. Which is a really weird configuration to look at to see an offset carburetor.
Yeah. My God, I'm getting turbo taxes.
I think out of factory, they only made like 4 or 5 pound to boost.
Not even.
I was gonna say if that, they were very anemic because of the emissions and.
Pontiac 301 Turbo from Wikipedia. Let's see what it says. Featured a lower compression ratio. I had forged pistons in that block. 60 psi oil pressure. It was a Garrett.
Okay.
305
Pilot, it's actually the seat belts is what I'm talking about in that car, not the belts on the engine. And to answer Nick's question on a Howe chassis that was built by Dale Shaw, who's a late model racer up in the New England states, who's built very, 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 very many cars and been very successful up there racing. And it has it was wrecked and had the clip changed, so it's got an updated M1 Howe front clip on it.
Yeah. All right. So to answer Grant's question, well, actually, to answer yours one, factory was limited to 9 psi, and it only made that not long after it was new because I know that they quickly lost all efficiency. In fact, a lot of them locked up not long after they were bought. But the turbo itself is a Garrett TBO 305 turbocharger. So let's see if I can figure out what the specs are for that.
Millimeter is?
Huh?
Yeah, I'll probably change it to a 6-point harness, just because there's no such thing as too much for safety. And I got to get some sort of Hans device because they've all went with all that. So probably at this point, my helmet even needs replaced because it'll be outdated.
I can't see any specs on how big it actually was. Oh, compressor wheel inducer is a 53 millimeter. Exducer is 68 millimeter.
403, I believe, debuted in the Trans Am in the 79 model year.
The what?
And was used up through till, I'm going to say, maybe 80.
Not even.
I mean, it wasn't a long running thing because
79 was the last year for the 403.
Yeah. Did they use it before that? Maybe in 78? Because I think everything before that was Pontiac.
It was used in California. It was used strictly in California up until, I think, 79. In 79, they used it in lieu of the Pontiac 400 engines because they stopped producing the 400s in 78. But they had enough left. They had a few
80,
left
everything
over
had the
for
301.
The 79s. We have a Cletus. We've been missing the Cletus. I've also been dropping the Cletus's live stream on the 19th that me and Roy will be on at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central time on Cletus's channel. Yes, the 403 was an Olds engine. It actually was the original engine that was in Jean Grey. Jean Grey was originally a 403 Olds with a turbo 350. In 1979, if you got an automatic transmission, it came with a 403 Olds if it had the 6-liter engine. 6.6 liter. But if you had the manual transmission, the only way you could get a manual transmission is with the Pontiac 400 engine. You could not get a Pontiac 400 engine with an automatic transmission in 1979. Yeah, I saw that video, Nick. Have you posted that video up on your YouTube channel yet?
Boy, howdy.
Welcome back. We're getting all the good questions today.
I presume that you already answered Pilot's question on the 403.
Yeah, I told him that the 403 engine was an Oldsmobile. Also, you could not get a Pontiac 400 in 1979 unless it was mated to a manual transmission.
Correct.
I don't think you could get the Pontiac engine in anything other than a Trans Am in 79. I don't think you could get it in a Formula.
No.
It was only the SE... was it only the SE Trans Ams that got the 400? Or was it just any Trans Am with a manual transmission?
The SEs for sure, and the 10th anniversary with the 4-speeds. Now, I'm not sure if they... Once again, we'd have to rely on Miss Formie.
I'm pretty sure you could get a regular Trans Am as long as you got the manual transmission with the Pontiac 400.
Yeah. I would have to think so, because, I mean, you see so many of them out there that people said is original and they've redone.
64 plus Buick would you build if you could build any? Oh, I don't know what year. The Buick Riviera boat tail is like one of my favorite cars. Though the Wildcat
65 Skylark hardtop.
Skylarks are gorgeous.
With the
trim that drips. I like the one where the trim
the 310 Wildcat
from the front fender and then drops down to the
rocker molding
to the rocker and then back up.
And from the back, if you quick glance from the back, it looks like a Charger.
Yeah,
because that almost the same window design, sunk in rear window with the full width taillight assembly. I had one.
Those
First
Skylarks
quote
are
unquote
gorgeous.
muscle car ever bought. I paid $100 for that car.
But when did they make the Wildcats?
Now, Wildcats, I'm not sure what year they debuted. You can still get them in 65. I think they run till 67 with the Wildcat engine. And I'm thinking they probably, I'm not sure, was it 60 or 61 when the Wildcat came out, or did they have it before that?
I'm not even positive. I don't know the Buicks that well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Rivieras. I mean, the Rivieras were not a muscle car, but they were gorgeous looking. But yeah, the Skylarks were nice. Obviously the GNXs, the 80s Buicks were nice looking, as long as you got the nicer, sportier looking ones. But I mean, they unless you got the sporty ones, they weren't very well known for performance.
Yeah,
There was
going back to the
there was what was the
what
the
Pilot
naked,
said earlier about the
there was a grand
auction down
that
there in
had
Indy.
all
They had
the
a real nice Riata that came across the table there over the weekend.
yeah.
It sold, and I think it went across the block like at $2,400 or $2,500.
All right.
Yeah, which is basically very similar to the Pontiac
I
Fiero.
almost bought a 4-door Buick Electra with a 455.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That would have been my first car, but obviously, on hindsight, it's glad it wasn't my first car because the interior was shot. It was been sitting for a long time. The engine was seized up. But I fell in love with the way that car looked. I don't know what year it was. I was like 16, 17 when I came across that car. I want to say it was mid 70s, maybe early 70s. I don't know what year they stopped putting the 455 in those cars. But it was Buick version of a Cadillac. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was nice looking. I absolutely love that car. I love the big 4-door cars.
I'll tell you one that's really overlooked that came with a 455. Wow, that was the Olds Tornado.
I'm not even sure what that looks like.
Kind of reminds you of some of the old Thunderbirds, but it was a front wheel drive that they would stuff a 455 under the hood with an automatic. Just mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what these cars
Often
are.
overlooked in the muscle car.
Yeah, they had
type.
that really weird, like, sunken in front nose.
Yeah.
Unless you had the earlier ones with the swoop down, where the nose came down to a point. Ooh, the 68 looked nice.
Just a real odd vehicle, front wheel drive in the era that it was released in, but nasty. I mean, a 455 Olds under the hood, 455
it's like the Cadillac
Rocket
engine that I had. The Cadillac engine that I had was, a lot of them were front wheel drives, but the one that I had was actually rear wheel drive. People keep saying, I had a Cadillac 500. And they were like, front wheel drive? I was like, no, it was mated to a long shaft. I mean, a long tail turbo 400. Did I hear? No, I thought I heard the boop of somebody coming into the StreamYard.
You probably heard the log
Pilot,
going
is there a
off.
vehicle that you haven't had?
A little bloop.
I wasn't talking about a 90s Electra, though.
Well, you going to pass me for, or you going to sit there like a dingbat? Thank you.
Find out what year that Electra was.
They had a really unique wheel on them with that, like, black inset with the chrome ribs
Mm-hmm.
and outer wheel with the chrome. It was a nice looking wheel. Kind of reminds you almost like the Rally 2s, but a thinner spoke design that Pontiac used, but it was their own thing they used on those.
Yeah,
Like the
I'm
late
pretty sure
60s and
that
early
I'm looking from the
70s. I
ones
mean,
that I'm looking at. I'm pretty sure it was like an early 70s.
got that right, Cletus. I hate them in my blind spot in this truck because it screams at me and sets sirens off in the truck.
Yeah,
Got this big red light that'll flash over there on the A pillar.
Yeah. From what I'm seeing, though, the Buick Electra that I was looking at appears to be an early 70s.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give the car manufacturers credit in that area because they really come up with some really unique looking wheels.
Apparently, it might have been a Wildcat too, because they dropped the Wildcat in those Electras.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely was not a 74.
I'd be real interested to try to track what the engine that's in the one Trans Am we have would have come out of. And God, someone shoot me. It's not a Pontiac engine. You know what? Who cares? It's a 455.
Yeah, it's big.
See, Trans Am plus 455. How do you go wrong? That's the way I stole it. I was, what do you mean you stole it? For the price I paid for that car, I stole it, even with the wrong engine in it.
'69 C30 to work on. I just picked an 03 Avalanche.
Sweet.
Yeah, the C30 I've seen the videos on. I didn't know he had the 03 Avalanche. The Avalanche is what I don't think it has an 03. That first gen Avalanche, I liked them a lot when they first came out. In fact, I wanted one in the worst way when I was graduating. Because I graduated in 2002, just as they were coming out. I still like them. I like the way they look. I'm not gonna lie. I don't necessarily like the newer body style. I don't hate them, but the one like Elliot has, I like the older body style, but I like it where they paint match the trim to match the body color. See you later, Grant.
The one they had before they put all the body molding plastic on them?
Well, no, they've always had the plastic on them. Always. They came out that way. But they were originally like no matter what color truck you got, it came with that gray plastic. And then like in I don't know, 2004 or 2005, they started them where they were color matched to the body. But if you had an earlier truck, a lot of people, what they were doing was they were taking the body plastics off and having them prep and painted in the body color of the truck, and they look really nice like that. I actually like them better that way than when they actually did it from the factory. I think that they were. I think that
they took more time, probably used a better quality paint too.
Huh?
I said they took their time more so to do it and probably used a better quality of paint as well.
Right.
Than what the factory
but also they
factory
changed
just
the way
it's a spray and paint job.
Right, but when they started doing it from the factory, they changed the way that those panels looked. I think they looked more edgier in the early years of the Avalanche than they did later. But that's, again, it's a personal opinion. I liked the earlier Avalanches. But
yeah, it's like these fools that buy these wheels that are ginormous and put the rubber band tires on them and throw them on everything. It's like, what the?
I can't stand it.
What are you thinking?
Stand it. I mean, if it looks good on a show truck, but it's not something I want to see going down the road. I also don't like the look of where they put the really wide tires on the trucks that are really low. Where they don't really raise the truck up any, they just put really wide tires on it. It just looks goofy. You know what I mean? I don't like it. I don't like it. Not necessarily, well, yeah, those ones would be donks, but it's not even necessarily that the wheels are super big. They're just wide. And then they put a bunch of spacers, so then the inside edge of the tire isn't necessarily underneath the truck anymore. It just looks weird. Like, I'm one of those people that the wheels should be centered under the truck. I don't care how big the wheel is. The wheel should be centered. Unless the tire is that big, you know what I mean, that you can't keep...
Then you got to tub it.
Right. But I'm one of those ones. I like the ones where... I don't think the wheel should be any bigger than like 18s or 20s. And you should have at least 4 inches of sidewall on a lifted truck. In my opinion. And I don't care how wide it is, just as long as you don't have the whole tire so far out that it's not even underneath the truck anymore. Yeah, I know it, Cletus. It's ridiculous. I can figure a better place to put that 10 grand in a freaking off-road truck. Like 10 grand in a better suspension. 10 grand in, I don't know. I mean, personally, throwing a shit ton of money at an off-road truck doesn't make much sense to me, but I mean, you have my Ram. Although I haven't done anything to it as far as anything more than stock, except for except for tires. In fact, I actually like the stock. If I could get the stock rims in a wider rim, I would. Because right now they're 17 by 8s, I think. If I could get them in a 17 by 10, or even an 18 by 10, I would. And then I would run, I know I can run up to a 35-inch tall tire on that truck stock height, because that's the off-road edition. You can run 35s on that truck with stock height. The regular 4-wheel drive Ram, you can only run 33s. Which is actually what's on it right now. I have a 33 by 12 and a half on it now. And those tires look tiny on that truck. Which is funny. Because you stick those same tires on a regular Dodge Ram, and they look huge. Cletus, I give Whistle and Diesel not a goddamn minute of my time. I do not necessarily disagree with what he does, but I'm not going to sit there and support it either. So, he can do what he wants with his vehicles. They're his vehicles. I'm not going to sit here and tell him what he can and can't do with them, but it doesn't mean I have to watch his content. I don't hate him for it. I work too hard for what I have to watch somebody else take something that I could probably never afford and just destroy it.
Because they can.
Yeah, well, because it pays him more to destroy it than it does for him to keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't fault him for his logic. He makes more money destroying those trucks than he does keeping them in pristine condition. So, I mean, no, I'm not going to be one to sit there and support that habit. Because what all it's going to end up doing is causing more YouTubers to do the same thing. I'm just not a fan of it. So, just like anything else, he's free to do what he wants.
Like anything, it's all fun and games until somebody tries to mimic it and gets hurt.
Well, yeah, but like I said, it's like anything else. Don't sit here and ban somebody from doing something that they want to do with their own stuff. Just don't support it. Just don't, feed into anything that's going to bring revenue his way for doing it. That's just my opinion. I don't have to like what you do, but it doesn't mean I have to sit there and like cheer you on while you're doing it either. The thing is I don't get the point of that either. What is the point of destroying a squatted truck? It's not that hard to turn that truck back into a regular truck. Why destroy the truck? Why sit there and condone destroying the truck when a truck can be converted back to a regular 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive, whatever. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't see the thrill in it. I just don't. I mean, I watched some of his stuff, like where he was putting the wagon wheels on different things. That was cool. That was interesting. That was something different. That wasn't blatantly trying to destroy the vehicle. You know what I mean? So, that earlier stuff, yeah, I watched that. But some of this other stuff, where he's taking show trucks and just destroying them, no. Again, with the squatted, the Carolina squat truck or whatever. Again, it's but yeah, like I said, I don't have to. I'm not going to sit here and hate on what he does. I don't care. I don't care what he does with it. I'm not excited about him destroying it. I'm not excited about him doing nothing with it. I don't care. I have no care. I have more things to put my time and effort into than that crap. I would much rather watch a 30-minute video of you or anyone else in the community, not competition, putting your hard-earned time and effort into something than to watch him sit there and fart around with a throwaway vehicle to him. Let's just put it that way. There are plenty other bigger YouTubers that I would care to put my time and effort into than watching his crap. Though I do feel that the shit that he's been going through with Instagram and everything else is bullshit. Because again, that's that same thing. Censoring somebody's voice and mind, I think, is bullshit. Even just because you don't like what he has to say, it doesn't make any sense. Well, it gives you all evening to watch this YouTube channel. Yeah, I know. And Cletus, to say that, depending on how bad it was, I know he said that what was it? That classic Ford that he just destroyed, the blue one. He said that one was in really rough shape. I mean, it was pretty on the outside, but I can understand it. There's plenty of vehicles out there that look pretty on the outside until you get up close to them. I'm sure Chris has seen plenty of those vehicles. My Nova was one. It looked really nice when I first looked at it. It wasn't until I took it home and started doing body work on it that I found a 2-inch freaking sunken hole behind the driver's side door. And apparently the riveted in patch underneath of the passenger side window that I didn't know was there until I took the car apart, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? There's some things that can stay very well hidden underneath paint. Yeah, model cars, on the other hand, I have my whole setup over there. I just missing some key. I am missing some key ingredients to actually start making models, though. I mean, I do have stuff like, this for my one kit. I have a lot of plans. I haven't started anything yet. Pilot, what's on Maple Motors on YouTube? And Cletus, I have no idea. I just go off of third-party information that I catch off of different things. I watch a lot of Life Apollos, which covers a lot of Whistle and Diesel stuff, without me having to support Whistle and Diesel directly. Maple Motors. Is that company that sells classic cars? If so, I think I've seen some of his videos and kind of been turned off by the way that he goes about. He's got that, no offense, Cletus, but he's got that used car salesman pitch to it, and I don't necessarily care for those videos. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, no, that would not interest me on that at all. And I don't watch the auctions for that same reason. I got tired of watching them where you get these cars that are going for ridiculous prices because it just makes cars seem out of reach.
Oh.
What's up, Chris?
Somebody had a big
uh-oh?
Yeah, big uh-oh.
Was there taillights, headlights?
I'm not sure if he laid it down or if somebody rear-ended him, but his trailer is destroyed. Looked like he may have laid it down. But they cleaning up a semi that wrecked over on the eastbound side
of the
highway. Yeah, it's either he laid it down or they didn't load it properly and his floor collapsed in the middle of it because the whole roof of the trailer and the sides are buckled down, almost like it collapsed. Which he could have laid it down and slid it into the concrete barrier and made it do that too. But it almost looks like the trailer busted in half.
Cletus, like I was saying, it doesn't make you a hater to not want to watch his content, as long as you're not sitting there telling him he can't do it. Which is my point. He can do it all he wants. It's his vehicles. If he bought and paid for them, he can do what he wants with them. You know? But like you said, I don't have to sit there and do things that would support him to do it, which would be giving him views. But yeah. How about I forgot about that. How about the freaking the tractor trailer driver that just damn near killed me the other day coming home from work? I don't know if that was Friday or whatever day, but I was coming home from work and I got off of the 81 to get on the 309 down in McAdoo, and this truck driver was in front of me at that point. In fact, actually, when I was getting off of the exit, I was trying to get in front of him to get off the exit, and he wouldn't. He was cooking towards that exit, and I couldn't get in front of him, so I fell back behind him and two other cars. And I'm actually kind of glad I did, because I was far enough behind him when he was coming down the hill on 309 that I wasn't one of the ones that he was passing on the. It's not even a median. It's you know those little concrete like bump dividers in between the two lanes? It was one of those. And he was literally straddling one of those concrete, I don't know, it's not a barrier, it's a median, or I guess it was a median. But he was straddling one of those passing cars going down a fucking twisty mountain road. He was all over the place. He damn near ran into the back of me. By the time I passed him, he almost ran into me 4 times through town. Eventually a cop pulled him over on the other side of the town as I was going to go get my kid. Bondo City. Yeah, I don't watch channels like that. It's like trying to watch what is that, Monkey City Garage, or with Crap Rawlings. I forget his name, his channel. I don't really care. His show is a joke. His channel's a joke. The only thing good that come out of that is that dude with the long beard. I don't even remember his name. It's the only one that was like really deserved any automotive attention. Period. You know, most of those shows have that one good actual hot rodder, and then the rest are all just filler. Even like I wouldn't say Chip Foose is that way, because Chip Foose is an actual hot rodder. Boyd Coddington, he was an asshole. But he had a few actual car people.
Craftsmen.
Yeah, that actually knew what they were doing, but he was a joke. Not to speak ill of somebody that's passed away, but I could not stand watching. I only watched his show for those one or two people that were actually worth watching, but I couldn't stand him himself when I was a kid.
He was a good graphics artist.
Boyd Coddington? Or are we talking about Chip Foose?
I mean, he had some good ideas with some of the designs he put together, but...
Yeah, he was completely clueless, though. Hey, you know, there are plenty of YouTube channels out there that are freaking succeeding very well at doing that exact same thing. Rescuing project cars, getting them to the point to where somebody else can do something with them, and then selling them off. Corvette Ben, who I've followed probably close to 10 years now. Probably longer than 10 years. Maybe. Corvette Ben, he started doing that with Corvettes, Camaros, different odds and end things. He'd get them to the point to where they would run, stop, drive, all the necessities, and then he'd turn around and sell them. He did a Delta 88, I think. Old 88. Is that a Delta? It's like a 50s car. 50s or 60s car. That was a fun one to watch. But yeah, I started watching his channel because he picked up an old Cadillac and restored it, and he drives that. Old car, I can understand selling cars as a business, to support your family and everything else. Great. But I think that the old cars or the revivals will do better for your YouTube channel itself. So I think you still need to do a mixture of both. Obviously sell the other flipper cars to keep your business afloat. But the stuff that you make content with on YouTube, I think the revivals will be much more successful on YouTube. Again, my opinion. Yeah, I think you need to do a little bit of both. I think you need to have a balance with that one. Damn. I don't think I have anywhere near that many followers, but I don't really post that many videos. I can never think of what to post. Let's see. What do I have? Nope. Let me pause that before. I have 57. I have 57 followers on TikTok. And 137 likes. But I've got like 8 videos. So it is what it is. I know you're killing it a lot more on TikTok than me. Yep, like I said, keep a balance. Sell the newer cars to help support buying the older cars. You know, a nice balance of both. That's really damn good, freaking. I definitely watch and like them as I come across them, as long as it's something that I feel like liking. I got a hoot out of your Blue Lives Matter video. I could see that one getting a lot of both love and hate. Damn. That's pretty good there, Cletus. He has one TikTok, Chris, where he scraped the Blue Lives Matter sticker off the back of one of his flippers. and he gets a mixed reaction. He gets people that are like all for him scraping it off, and then he's got other people that bitch, oh my god, why would you do that? Do you hate the police? And it's like, no. Hey, number one, whenever you're flipping a car, you want to take off anything off of a car that's going to not make it sellable to a majority of people. Am I right, Chris?
Yes.
If you're selling a car, you scrape off all them extra bumper stickers and window stickers and everything else.
Bumper stickers, political statements, other advertising slogans for somebody else.
Yeah, because if somebody's buying that car and they're looking at it, that might be the reason why they don't buy it. Whereas if that sticker is not there at all, regardless of what side they're on, it's not there to trigger either way. They don't know it was ever there before they came to look at the car. So it's not a point of contention. You know, it's like, you know, what's going to sell better, a car that's black or white or bright pink? The black and white cars are going to sell a lot faster than the pink car. Pink car might look cooler, but it's only going to appeal to a smaller group of people.
To Oklahoma 152 West.
You know?
Put it on dubs, take it to the ghetto. It's a surefire.
Oh, yeah. It actually might sell for more then. And yeah, I get that too, Cletus. It's not that you don't support the police. Honestly, though, that's where I disagree with you, is the second half of your statement where he says he doesn't like that they did that to the flag. It's not the American flag. If they took an American flag and painted one of the white stripes blue, that's defacing an American flag. It's not an American flag if it never started out as an American flag. So, any of these Blue Lives Matter or any of these flags with the stripes in them, it's not a true American flag. It never was. So, it's, in my opinion, it's not disgracing the American flag.
Take the exit on the right to Council Road.
But again, everybody has a right to their own opinion, and that's mine. Like I said, if you're taking an actual American flag and disgracing it, then that's different. Being an artist, if I were to take something as an inspiration of the American flag and come with my own take, I don't see that as defacing an American flag, because it never was one to begin with. Do you have an opinion on that, Chris? No? Did I lose you, Chris?
Now we're bouncing in and out.
Okay. I was talking about the whole blue, the blue stripe flags.
Yeah.
And whether or not you feel that is disgracing the American flag or not, or what's your opinion on any of those flags, whether it's the red stripe, the blue stripe, the green stripe.
They're made for a specific interest or support as a novelty item.
Right. I don't consider it an
They're
American
a flag replica. They're not a true flag.
Right. So I don't consider that disgracing an American flag, because it never was an original flag, in my opinion.
No.
But like I said, that's my opinion. That would be like anybody wears, like, I have a, right here in this box. Technically, if you wanted to say that, could be considered a disgrace of an American flag. Depending on how you go about it. Let me see if I can get this out of here.
I mean, it's funny that you have a segment out there that'll bitch about that.
Yeah.
But they won't say a damn thing out somewhere where they see a protest where somebody takes one and sets it on fire.
Right. But yeah, so like I have this. I mean, that would be like saying that this is a disgrace of the American flag. Is it a representation of an American flag? Yes. Is it an actual American flag? No. It's not the red, white, and blue. It never was originally a flag. It's an artist representation of a flag. But yeah, this actually is for the truck. Jeez, you remember when I bought this, Chris?
To be honest, not now, no.
I was in.
It's been a while.
I was in Tamaqua. Back when I had my original setup in the middle of the dining room. That was 2 years ago. I bought that for the truck. But those will, because they're generic.
Take the exit.
Cletus says he has 5 white SUVs right now. Black, white, and gray sell way faster. Yes, because they're generic. They appeal to the biggest audience. And that's
basically it's a blank canvas for them to do what they want.
Well, but it also fits in most with everything. You know, even if you like red or yellow or orange or whatever, you're more likely to still like a white, gray, or black vehicle than you will if you're like red. You're not going to buy a yellow one. You know.
Take the exit right to Council Road.
Well, it doesn't matter what brand or whatever it is. It's a matter of it does, and it doesn't even matter if it's a car or if it's a shoe or what it is, a piece of furniture. A highly stylized product is going to not sell as well as a generic bland product, because the bland product appeals to a bigger audience of people than the highly stylized product will. The highly stylized product will appeal to a niche group of people who are into whatever that style is. Yep, and that's because it sells. That's exactly why. And that's the way if you go to Walmart, if you go to a dealership, if you go to a sneaker place, they will have more bland, boring stuff than they will have flashy stuff, because the flashy stuff only sells to a small group of people. Music is the same way. If you go to listen to music, a lot of music all sounds the same. Why? Because these recording companies have figured out what melody and what formulas work, and that's why pop songs all sound the same, because they have figured out the formula that works for the most people and what sells. So they're going to beat that formula to death. That's just the way that they're going to do it. Because it's when anything is, when any genre or whatever is driven by what sells. YouTube's the same way. We can even go to YouTube. Why do people make
all
certain
kinds
content?
of fun?
Why do people make certain content? You see one person that has success, everybody starts doing that same thing because they want a piece of that success. So then what you end up having is just a bunch of cookie cutter channels that all have the same shit. It's the same thing as it's just a it's a closer look at the same scenario. Cars all look the same right now because they have figured out what people like. They don't care about being unique. They care more about selling their product to the biggest audience possible.
Cats and cadets, we're going to ball out quick so we can check in at a delivery over here. So we'll see what happens once I get there. Then we can get back in.
We might actually... How long do you think you're going to be, Chris?
It could be half hour. I'm not sure.
All right. Well,
first time I've ever been here, so
we might bail out because it's going on 11, and I have to be up at like 7:30 tomorrow. Unfortunately, my Mondays look like they're going to be having to start a little earlier than they used to be. All right. So we will pick up this topic next week if somebody reminds us about it. Thank you guys all for joining us this week, and we will catch you guys next week, same time, same place. You wanna say goodbye there, Chris?
All right, later, everybody. Have a great week. God bless. Be safe wherever you are in your adventures.
300 feet.
All right, thank you. And I agree with that, Chris. It's the same thing. I mean, not Chris, Cletus. It's the same thing that I do. You know, I do my channels the way that I like it because it's what I enjoy doing. I don't care if it grows to be super popular. But all right, we'll catch you guys next week. You guys have yourself a good week and be safe.